Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
All right. This is Scare Talk, and I am Danny. And live and in person, again, we have Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
We are done with the social distancing, at least on this show.
Yep.
And so we're bringing you live, but not really.
From the studio, yeah.
Okay, so today we're going to kick off our Halloween franchise series.
Yes.
We're going through all 11?
I think it's 11. Yeah.
And then there's going to be a 12.
There's going to be a 12, yeah.
This year. Okay.
Yes.
So we will have all 12, hopefully, if the 12th one actually does come out.
Yeah. Hope so.
And then our ranking.
Yep. 13 episodes.
All 12. So
for Halloween.
Strap in. So yeah, we're kicking it off, and we're going to start with the 1978 original.
The OG.
Halloween.
Yes.
Can you tell us who is in this one?
Yes, I can. The actors are Jamie Lee Curtis. You might know her from a movie called True Lies. And more
Actually, just watched that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good one. And more recently, a movie called Knives Out.
Oh, yeah, she is in that. Very nice.
Yes. And we also have Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance.
Yes.
And he was in Escape from New York.
Hey.
Along with a couple other movies on here that I didn't put on here.
He's in like all of
He's
the
pretty
first
much
6.
He's in, yeah. Well, I think
except for the third one. He's not in the third one.
I think he's in the first 5.
No, he's in the 6th one too.
He isn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's been a little while since I've seen him, but yeah. He's in. He's pretty much the only character that remains in that timeline.
Yeah. And Michael.
Yeah. Okay. True. Sorry. And Michael Myers. The writer, we've got John Carpenter. He wrote Escape from New York and The Fog, the original Fog, as well as Deborah Hill, who wrote Escape from L.A. and The Fog.
Okay.
And they both have obviously written a lot of other stuff besides those, but these are just a couple of them here. And it was directed by the one and only John Carpenter.
Yes.
He directed The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so this movie is about 15 years after murdering his sister on Halloween night, 1963. Michael Myers escapes from a mental hospital and returns to the small town of Haddonfield, Illinois, to kill again.
Oh,
That is the story of the entire, all 11 movies. Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, there's more to each movie, but
Yeah, there is.
you could put that on any of the movies. And
Yeah, and that's
be
pretty much
pretty much
what
right.
what it summarizes it for.
All right, so I want to talk about a few things before we get into positives and negatives.
Okay.
So, number one, everybody knows this movie. Everybody, you know, it's a classic for horror. Would you call this the most important horror movie ever?
That's that is a good question because it did lay the groundwork for for these types of movies going forward. Like Friday the 13th probably wouldn't exist without Halloween.
Yeah.
And along with a bunch of other movies that we consider classics today, it's definitely up there. It's one of the more. It's one of them in my opinion. I don't know about the most important.
Okay.
Because you have to include Alfred Hitchcock in that in that argument as well with Psycho.
Yeah.
But definitely Halloween is definitely probably maybe even top 3 most important.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, it's you can kind of go back and forth with Psycho and Halloween. I think. Mm-hmm. I guess the question is, would there have been a Halloween if there was no Psycho?
They're different, but at the same time, kind of.
Yeah. And Halloween
in some ways kind of
horror
similar. It's definitely more horror. It probably would still exist without Psycho.
Yeah.
But you can definitely go back and forth between those two for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I just, it's a very well-known movie, well-known characters.
Yeah.
And it's, it could be considered the most important horror film. I mean, it's 1978 when it came out. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about 40-something years later.
Yeah.
Another one being made.
And they're still making them, yeah.
So, there's,
I mean,
it's something right.
We got like 5 Psychos, too. So,
yeah.
But they kind of stopped
and then
in
TV
the
show.
70s, in a remake.
Yeah.
Although it was pretty much word scene for scene the exact movie of the original. But so it's definitely up there for me as far as most important.
Yeah.
Horror.
Okay, so I agree there. It's kind of hard to say, but it could be definitely worthy. Okay, and then a little bit of the history of this movie. So, fun facts, I guess we'll say. So, it's very low budget when it was first made. It was an independent film. So low budget that the mask that was used. Do you know what the mask is?
I do.
Okay, this is a test.
Yes. What was William Shatner?
Yeah, Captain Kirk.
Yep, Captain Kirk himself.
Yeah, it was a Captain Kirk mask.
Yeah.
That they just painted it white and messed with the hair a little bit. And I think they did a little bit more alterations to the face because I think it's a little thinner than his face on the mask. And then they cut the eye holes to make them a little bigger.
Yeah.
But that was it. They didn't make their own mask for the movie. They took an existing one. Yeah. So that's how low budget it was. And I wonder, because it's so genius to do that, because obviously his mask is very iconic.
Yeah.
But I wonder, was it just lazy luck? Or was it genius? Out this way. Was it just, I'm trying to save money.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do it like this, and then he just got lucky? John Carpenter?
Yeah.
Or was it really no, I could have made a mask, but I saw this and it was what I needed to have. He
probably could have made one. It's not the hardest thing in the world to make a mask.
I don't know.
So
maybe maybe they were on a time strain too. Yeah. Oh shoot, we forgot he has to have a mask.
Oh man, it's almost Halloween. Let's go to a Halloween store real quick. Let's get a William Shatner mask.
I'm sure we could look this up and figure out how the mask came to be, and
I'm sure there's a documentary about this somewhere.
But I just I heard that story about how it was Captain Kirk. I'm like, that's cool, but it's also are you just being lazy?
Yeah,
or what?
I wonder if William Shatner gets some royalties from that or something. It's you're using his face. Yeah, kind of.
I saw someone, or there's a few of these masks still around today. A few of the original William Shatner Captain Kirk masks.
Yeah,
they're going for thousands of dollars.
Wow.
It's not even a Michael Myers.
That's crazy.
Mask.
Yeah,
it's Captain Kirk. So,
oh man,
yeah. So if you're one of those people, you can send it to us.
Yeah,
we'll be happy to take it.
Yeah, we'll put it up somewhere
because you love our show.
Display it.
Yeah, that's what you can give back to us. It'd be cool. Okay, so yeah, that's a fun fact. I thought. I don't know if a lot of people know.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your positives for this?
Well, for one, it's a very iconic movie series. Really, the whole entire franchise is pretty iconic. But it all started with this one. This is Michael Myers is one of, if not the, he's one of the most iconic
Yeah.
killers in horror. I didn't want to say the most because there's arguments to be made about those, but I enjoyed the story. It's very basic, but it is also gripping at the same time. It's gripping. Yes,
I like that
it's
word.
gripping. Yeah. leaves you on the edge of your seat.
It grips you to the seat.
It does, yes. At certain points. Not the entire movie, because the first part of it's kind of slow, but
Yeah.
when you see Michael Myers like start to stalk Laurie,
Yeah.
it gets a little creepy. Just seeing him randomly, like
Yeah, I love
peekaboo.
that. I love that. Oh, that's my favorite thing about all the Halloween movies is when he's just there.
yeah.
He doesn't even have to do anything.
He
just
doesn't
him being there.
even try to hide. Like,
Yeah.
he straight up just like came out from the bush.
Yeah.
And just, like stared at her for like a second, and then went back in. Like, okay. Hey, guy. So the whole stalker aspect, I don't think has really been done before. Having like a killer stalk there. It's not I'm sure it's not an original idea, but it's not something that was made a lot.
Not to that extent, I don't think. Like,
Yeah.
with his mask and, you know, like, usually if you're stalking somebody, you're trying to stay hidden.
Yeah.
He just was...
He makes sure that she sees him all the time, and then disappears.
And he's, like, standing out in the, like, backyard.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
looking up at the window
yeah.
with the sheets.
And then he disappears. Okay, are you a ghost? Are you a man? It was I enjoyed this movie a lot. It's very iconic. It's I am glad we're doing this series because I really like this series.
This is why I wanted to do a podcast. Mm-hmm. This movie
alone. Man, we're really talking this movie up.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Podcast is over after this.
Yeah, we're done. This is all I really wanted to do.
So, and on the movie, I just watched it last night for the millionth time in preparation for this. But it says featuring Jamie Lee Curtis. This was literally her first role that she ever did.
Yeah, I think it says introducing.
Introducing.
Yeah.
Yeah, introducing, not featuring. Introducing Jamie Lee Curtis, which I think was pretty cool because you see the horror movies where big name actors like first got their start in.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Bacon was Friday the 13th. Jennifer Aniston was Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
But you don't think of those actors for those roles. You think of them for other ones. You think of Jamie Lee Curtis for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like this was not only her start, but this is what launched her career.
Yeah. And what she's known for.
Yeah.
I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool, even though she's only been in like a handful of the movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I liked the story. I liked the characters in it, and I liked the creepy atmosphere that the movie provides.
Right.
And yeah, it's a very iconic movie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So those are pretty much my positives for the movie.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll agree with all of that. Regarding the plot, I think for whatever reason, sometimes the more simple the plot is, the better the movie can be for horror. Mm-hmm. If it's not a very complicated plot, you can do a lot with less.
Yeah.
Less is more, I guess, in this movie for sure. And I mean, the character of Michael Myers is such a simple thing, but just done just so well. Like, even his face is simple. You know, it's just emotionless,
Yeah.
blank.
Yeah.
You know,
It's all about the body, his body,
Yeah.
his body language.
Yeah.
Is what
Yeah.
makes him who he is.
Yeah, and that mask is just perfect.
Yeah.
because it's just a blank, emotionless face. So yeah, all that stuff is good. The music is
It's iconic.
very iconic. The theme song alone, I think, if you played that for almost anybody, they would at least, I don't know if they would know it was Halloween, but they would at least know that it's something scary.
Yeah.
You know, it just has a scary, I mean, I think it sounds just awesome. Like, I'll blast it in my car. But it gives that vibe, you know. And then there are other you know, parts of the score too that's Halloween. It is Halloween. It's not to be confused with anything else. You know it's Halloween when you hear, like, you don't even have to watch the movie. It was just the score, and you went through the whole movie, and all you could hear was the score. You know it's Halloween.
You know it, yeah. Exactly.
And not many movies can say that.
No.
So I think that is really cool, and it's kind of a theme that they stuck with for the most part. I mean, the score is kind of altered to make it like sound kind of 80s sounding stuff in some of the films, and you know, then altered to, you know, be more 2000s or whatever. But it's still the
remix on it.
Yeah, a little remix. Still, that score though is still there. Like you can still tell that it's a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And you know, the score is just good too. It adds a lot to the atmosphere of the movie. Michael's just appearance in the background, which is like perfect for him to have that white face because the background is dark.
Yeah.
Right. So the audience can see him.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's like so genius.
No one else can.
Yeah, the audience
we
can see him because he's just got that blank white face, and it's Halloween night, so it's dark.
Yeah.
You know, so the contrast is really, it stands out for you. And I like how he just hides in the shadows too.
Yeah.
Like he'll be back there, and you'll see from his perspective what's going on. They can't
like
see
that.
him,
Yeah.
because he's in the shadows. But a
you
lot
can-
of that point of view shots that they do.
I like that.
Yeah.
The camera's like focusing out so we see what he's seeing.
Yeah.
I like that.
And well, in the beginning of the movie, we're seeing him like directly what he's saying. We're like the camera's following as if you are him as a child.
Yeah.
And he's wearing the clown mask, and you can even see the eye holes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's, you know, it's pretty that's pretty cool. And so yeah, that, you know, that opening scene, I think everybody knows that. If you like horror movies, you've probably seen it. And so there's all that, and then there's Loomis. Loomis, to me, besides Michael, he's the most important character
In the
in the
franchise. Yeah.
and in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, overrated to me. Very overrated. I think the fact that she's in this movie and this movie is such a success is why she's an icon.
Yeah.
Not because of anything she did. I don't feel like she did much more than any other Final Girl. Really. I mean, I don't know. I can't like.
But yeah, I mean, she was still just like a high school student. Like it's just she just like innocent girl, basically being thrown into this world here. Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't much to her character.
Yeah.
I think the fact that she that this movie was as successful as it was,
Yeah.
helped a lot. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of other people in this movie too. Why didn't their careers get launched? She was definitely
she survived. She was the final girl. She lived.
Well, yeah, but there, I mean, as far as successful
Well, that's what I
from
mean.
this
Like,
movie,
like if you watch other horror movies, it's not usually the other actors that get the recognition. It's the one that survives.
Yeah.
It's the one that lives. And so she lived. She was. I think this is probably where that term "final girl" started.
yeah.
I think she was probably why it was a thing. But then all these other movies came, And I don't feel like she did anything different or better or worse or, I feel like she's just typical. I don't get the just why she got so much stardom and praise for this.
In this timeline, she's only in 2 of them. So,
yeah.
Out of 6 movies, her character is only in 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, it's like she
did other movies, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, she did. She came back as Laurie Strode in a few, but those are different timelines.
Yeah. She did other movies like Prom Night. And,
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she was the original Scream Queen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I just don't. It's not like she did bad. I just don't think there was anything really extra special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there really wasn't. Just besides her being the final girl, there really wasn't anything else. To her character.
This is probably like just very, very bad to talk about.
Sexist.
Well, not even that. I feel like in the horror community, it's like, no,
you have angered everybody.
You do not talk about Laurie Strode like that. You know, she is the best ever. Like, she's just like
Sidney
any
Prescott's
other one.
better.
Oh well, yeah, 100 times. Oh yeah,
but that's a different conversation.
That's not even close. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think she is that amazing. Mm-hmm. Back to Loomis. He is what is amazing in this movie. Donald Pleasance, did a great job acting. He makes Michael twice as scary as Michael does. Like, if it wasn't for Loomis, Michael wouldn't be as scary because the stuff he says,
just talks him up.
Talks him up, man.
Man,
he's
like
a
guy.
He's like his hype man. But the way he talks about him, like he's not a person. Mm-hmm. He is evil. He's the devil's eyes. All the things he says really makes Michael scary. Mm-hmm. And just his acting, the storyline of him being the doctor and how he couldn't reach him. He didn't say a word for the whole time. And I think Michael and Loomis, they make the Halloween franchise.
That line he says, I think it's like in the first half hour of the movie or something, when he escapes. He goes, I met Michael when he was 6.
Yeah.
And I tried to help him for the first 8 years. And then I tried to prevent him from, what did he say exactly? He prevented him from leaving, from getting, because he's just so evil.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, I want to know the conversations that went on.
I know.
I want to know if Michael actually spoke to him. How is he so...
Well, they tried to do that in a later movie with a different director. They try to give you an insight on
they did
that.
We'll talk about that at some point.
So I think Loomis and Myers are the 2 most important people in the whole franchise. So Laurie could have been anybody, in my opinion. So yeah, those are my big main positives. I could talk about it for probably another hour, but we'll go into negatives. So, do you have?
Well, I know one of yours is negatives. I'm sure. We're talking about Laurie Strode. Besides Loomis and Laurie Strode, the acting was not good.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't really blame it, being it was a low budget movie. Mm-hmm. But
it's in the 70s.
Yeah, 70s, low budget. You're not going to get the best acting in the world. But I think that's why they were kind of standouts, is because their acting went
was better.
way better than everyone else in the entire movie.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So, yeah, Donald Pleasance has been around for years, even before this movie came out.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got some acting abilities, and I think that's definitely a reason why Jamie Lee Curtis made it so big, is because she was a standout in this movie. She didn't do a whole lot, but she was still a standout compared to pretty much everyone else in the movie. I think the acting is my biggest negative. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Might have some negatives throughout the franchise. But as far as this movie goes, this was, for like a horror movie. It was very well made.
Yeah.
So I would probably say that's the acting was probably the worst part.
Yeah, and that's all I can really say is the acting. I mean, we already talked about Laurie Strode. I think it's just overrated, but she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like she was a bad character or, you know, like you said, Jamie Lee Curtis did, you know, decent acting.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, the other characters' acting wasn't that good. It's like, it's not bad to the point of unwatchable, but it's kind of like bad to the point of like you're gonna laugh, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's so bad, it's kind of funny.
Which kind of worries me for the next one that's coming out because they're bringing back not just the characters but the actors
they're bringing back
themselves.
some of the actors, yeah.
And these actors haven't done anything since 1978. So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they've been working on their acting.
I hope so. I love to see the characters again, but I mean, maybe not the actors.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm a little worried about that, but I mean, I'm sure it's still going to be amazing. But yeah,
but yeah, just the acting. It's really all I can knock it for. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah.
What are we going to grade this one?
Because it is a classic horror movie, and it was especially for its time. I know we've talked about other original movies, and we've liked the remakes better of those.
Yeah.
But this one has stood the test of time. Like it's still a really good movie.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this one a solid A.
Okay. Percent.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we gotta do that too. a 92.
92.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
93 maybe.
Yeah. If you're gonna go 92, that's an A-.
Well,
93.
It's on the brink. I was going to say 93, 94.
Okay.
I'll say so.
An A.
You know what? 95. Let's make it a straight A.
Okay. All right.
95.
Capital A. All right. Perfect. I'm going 98.
Oh wow. Okay.
I want to put it in the
More
B or
in
the A plus range.
Yeah.
But I want to leave room for something to top it. It's my favorite of all horror films, so you know. I want to leave room.
You've got that 2%
yeah,
room
just
that you're
2%.
giving something else.
Yeah, that's all. I don't think it's going to happen. So there's not much room there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you're right. There's been 11 other movies of this, and I mean, spoiler alert for our series here. None of them are going to top this movie.
No, they're not.
And that's saying something. You know, sometimes. You know, some of the movies can be like, oh, that was, you know, like Friday the 13th. There's better movies than the original within that series. And so...
Number 2.
Yeah. The second one is better than the first one. And, you know, some would argue like the fourth one is better than the second one. And, you know, so that one's, you know, all over the place. But nothing is going to top Halloween.
No.
No matter what. No matter how many Halloween movies they make.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's pretty cool. And so, you know, I just thought of something. I wonder if this... Well, I think Friday the 13th probably has more movies. Does it have more movies?
So I think there's 8. I think it goes to Friday the 13th chapter 8, and then there's... So I have most of these movies. So.
I know, it's just so...
It is
so
ridiculous. I think there's
of.
like 12 of them. Because there's Freddy's Dead. And
no,
then
not Freddy.
Or no, not Freddy. Jason Goes to Hell. There's other ones
Jason
besides
X.
There's Jason X. Yeah, that's 10 X for 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Freddy vs. Jason. I don't know if you're gonna categorize that in Freddy or Jason.
And then the remake.
And then the remake. There's 12, at least 12 movies, unless I'm missing. I think I may even be missing one or two.
Was there one called Voorhees?
No, that was like a short film, I think, or something like that.
It's like a fan film or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so those two, I wonder, you know, because they're kind of like tied. I wonder if there's any other series that has more movies.
Well, if they continue the Saw franchise, it's going to get there.
They might get there. But, you know, I mean, Star Wars is... Were they on 9
They're on
now?
Well, yeah. There's 9, but there's a couple spin-offs.
Yeah.
Like there's Solo and there's Rogue One.
Yeah.
So if you count those, but as far as Star Wars, there's 3 sets of trilogies.
Top 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah. I think it's...
Fast and Furious coming out with number 9.
Yeah. So, they're
Supposed to
trying.
be.
They're trying to keep up. That's
Supposed to
probably
be
why
this
they
year, but
started...
it got pushed to next year.
Yeah. That's probably why they started making more Halloween movies.
You gotta compete.
Yeah, like, you guys are trying to top us.
Everyone else is making them. Why can't we?
To hold the throne. Okay, yeah.
As long as I remember quality over
Yes,
quantity.
yes.
I want quality movies, not
Yes, you tell them.
25 of the same movie, but they all suck. I'll take 15 if they're good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a good ratio.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be reviewing all the rest of these movies, so put your seatbelts on.
Buckle up.
Okay, so we are, find us on Facebook at Scare Talk Podcast, and then on Twitter at Scare Talk Pod. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and Anchor, and a few other ones. I've seen some people are listening on different platforms. Kind of cool. And we're at nearly 400 plays now.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So get us over that hump.
Yeah. I want to get to 1,000.
Yes. Yeah, well, we're very close.
Wait, we are. That's our first goal.
Yes. Okay. Send us a message.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a review. Let us know you're listening. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. All that stuff. Give us a recommendation of a movie.
Yes.
You want us to review. Yeah, I think that's about it. All right. So this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Mikey bite.